Larry Ayers. Lived in Bisbee for about 10 years, but I'm from Northeast Missouri, and that's where I learned to play the fiddle. Going to contests, and I was self-taught, so it really took me a while. But then I ended up playing for dances and playing in jam sessions in Missouri, and when I moved to Bisbee, I found some musicians to play with. And back before there was a lot of guitars around, that people were playing banjo and fiddle together. It's a southeast thing, you know, and it's a lot of fun to do, and it's really not connected to bluegrass music. It's more old time, what people were playing, you know, back in the early part of the 20th century, before there was more of a jazz and blues influence in music.
I'm Jennifer Tomchick, and I'm from the Pacific Northwest near Mount Rainier. I've played music since I was a little girl, and when I decided I wanted to play the banjo, I ended up joining the Old Time Fiddlers organization, and I found my banjo style and my music, and it led me to being on the road for 10 years. I've played all over the country at many of the folk schools, dances. I've been to England and Scotland, and this is just my music, the fiddle music. Old time music is pre-bluegrass, and that it's also the favored music for contra dancing. So when you see contra dance announcements, the bands will often have banjo and fiddle. But this is my music. I love it, and I love playing happy music. I'd been off the road for a while, and the economic conditions in the year 2008 to 10 or so became very difficult to find work and play on the road, and so I needed to stop, and I was working full-time. So
as a pharmacist, you might as well say.
Yes, I'm a pharmacist in Tucson, and this coming down to Cochise County is one of the neighboring counties that has jams and people get together, and that's where I met Larry. And there's somebody, he's got the fiddle style and he's got the music, and it just kind of went from there. The two of us together play under our own names now, and we do play outdoors, and we played for the Stair Climb a number of years, and we've also played just outside of the coffee shop where the post office is. My favorite thing about playing music is, of all the kinds of music I've ever played, the music that I predominantly play needs to be happy and uplifting. That I come from a rural background, and a lot of the Appalachian rural music can be rather sad and depressing. But I prefer happy music, and so
I play sad stuff too. So
yes, I know that, but
minor key stuff.
But that's my focus, is that it makes me happy and other people too.
And when you, especially, I played in a lot of dances in the Midwest, and they go on sometimes for 3 or 4 hours, and it's just kind of an endurance test. And when you have a group of people dancing for you, you have that same feedback thing going. There's usually a caller who kind of lets you know if you're playing too slow or too fast. And after playing for a while, it's for dancing. It's really the rhythm is the important thing, and you can kind of get into this zone, just cranking it out, and you can do variations. You realize the melody isn't as important as keeping that rhythm pumping out, and it's kind of like playing electric bass or rhythm guitar. It's the same kind of thing. Of course, I have people that have influenced me a lot that are still playing. That it would be really fun. I play a lot of Canadian stuff. I've got an affinity for that, and it's very much. It's kind of like a little bit like American old time, but also has. I also play Irish music, and it has an Irish influence across Canada, Irish and Scottish, and there's several of them. Of course, none of them are what you would call public name. Only people who are into that kind of thing would know their names.
So my favorite fiddle, because it's fiddle music that I play, I'm not banjo players but fiddlers. So Buddy Thomas, who's passed away, he's from Kentucky.
Yeah, he's from Kentucky. He died in his 40s, I think.
Yeah, he died young. A fabulous fiddler. Another one is I have met and played with Charlie Acuff, and Charlie Acuff was a brother of Roy Acuff, and he was a much more, a better fiddler. He was the fiddler in the family. He's from Alcoa, Tennessee, and I got to meet his family and his brother that played backup for him. But very much one of the tunes that we played is one that in a big national gathering that Charlie Acuff got up and played, Rachel, and that is was that the third tune we played, Rachel?
Last tune we played.
Yeah, the third tune, Rachel.
That's a tune that's played everybody knows it,
Yeah.
It's in Texas they call it Texas Quick Step, but it's the same tune, and it's there's probably 30 or 40 tunes that are universal. A lot of them are played in Ireland and Scotland too. As a fiddler, it's always tempting. There's always newly you hear a recording and you think, oh, I got to play that. And with YouTube, it's so easy. I mean, there's a tremendous amount of music on YouTube, and you can slow it down and learn it pretty quickly.
We've played at a couple of the hotels and the outdoor markets and things before COVID started. And then since COVID, we've mostly played outdoors, and that's where we attracted the attention. What's Cynthia's last name? Oh, Cynthia Conroy, the founder of the Bisbee Stair Climb 1000, saw us, and we were busking outdoors, playing outside the coffee house on Saturday mornings. And we're hired for the stair climb, but playing outdoors is not everyone's bag, but I think it's a lot of fun. It's a great way to meet people of all ages, and it also advertises the music and the musicians and the instruments, and encourages acoustic music. The people that come out and listen are not just the people who are participating in the stair climb, but also the neighbors. Neighbors brought us drinks and offered if we needed to plug in electric, and on the street we're loud enough, the two of us that we project very well, and So we don't need electric. Some of the spots we played are, well, actually, usually we're sitting right in the middle of an intersection playing, and that the stair climb is a lot of fun. We've seen people come up the street and stop and dance to the music, and the neighbors, people who passed performers for the stair climb, come out and sit and listen, and it's a lot of fun.